Hello everybody, my name is Sharon Price and I'm the Executive Director for your Community Action Council. Today I'm coming to you as a mom. I know that we've all been really busy with COVID-19 and cleaning everything inside in our homes, and with school closings, our schedules are off and it's just not the same. I want to talk to you today about child-proofing your home and some things that we just take for granted on a day-to-day basis that we need to pay a little bit more attention to today. At Community Action Council's Prep Academies, we are working with your children every day, and we're teaching them to be curious, to be investigators, and to explore how things work and to explore the world around them, because that's how children really learn. So I'm sure that you guys have been busy just like me, cleaning everything in sight and having every kind of cleaner that you can get your hands on. And that's good to take care of COVID-19. But the next thing we got to do is make sure that we have a safe environment for our kids, because it looks like we're going to have them in our homes and off of their schedules for a couple of weeks. So some of the things that I want you to look for: all of these cleaning items, the Clorox wipes, any of the spray bottles, Lysols, any of those disinfectants, make sure to keep those up and away from children. I know it's very easy because I checked it out at my house last night. I have all of these items under my sink, under my kitchen sink. I've got to remove those and put those up, because we know that children are curious and they're going to explore, especially because their routine is going to be off. Also, in your kitchen, when you're preparing your meals, make sure to turn the handles of your pots outward, facing the wall or the inner side of the stove, because you don't want a child to come over and grab the handle and pull anything over on them. We want to make sure that we're being very overly sensitive to the environments that we're in. Any knives or sharp objects that might be in reach of the children, let's go ahead and put those up. I know a lot of times we have the knives, displayed out on the cabinets. Let's go ahead and put those up, because our kids are so quick, and before you know it, they've taken something because they're exploring and they want to see how things work. So let's make sure that we're putting all of those items up and away from children. Medications or anything that looks like candy, we want to make sure that that is up and away from children. Keep your medications high enough in cabinets so that children can't get them. The best thing to do is to put locks on all of your cabinets if you have those. That is a great item. But pay attention to anything that's colorful that children might want to put in their mouths. Another good way to check to see when you're looking at your environment is to get on the floor on the child's level so that you can see what the child is seeing. You're going to scan your entire environment and you're going to see, okay, what could my child get into? Because they can get into a lot of things, right? So when you're surveying, looking at it from their level is one of the key things to do, because it's going to give you a different perspective from what you see. Cell phone chargers. Let's make sure that we're keeping those cords up and away from children. If you're like me, you probably plug it in and leave it plugged in all day long until you get ready to use it again. We need to make sure that we have our environment safe for children, particularly those under 5 years old, so that they don't get wrapped up in these cords if they get away and they're exploring things. I want you to take a look at any other cords that you might have hanging in your house. Maybe you have your television cord hanging where a child might be able to get to it, or a radio cord that's looped over. Let's go ahead and might have to adapt our environment just a little bit, but let's go ahead and make sure that those cords are not hanging so things can't be pulled. Take a look at the blinds in your house. If you have blinds that have hanging cords, go ahead, wrap those up and tuck it at the top of the blind so that children are not able to reach those items. My house, a coffee table is a catch-all. So make sure that we don't have anything sitting on those coffee tables that a child could reach and it could break and then they could get injured on. We want to make sure that we're looking at everything and removing every possibility of any of our children getting injured while we're working through this COVID-19 situation. If you have the capability to move your coffee table out of your environment temporarily, especially if you have those itty bitties that are crawling and learning how to pull up, I want to make sure that we don't have any unnecessary visits to the emergency room because a child has fallen and hit their chin on the table. While we're talking about babies, I want to make sure that you take a look at the baby's crib. Let's make sure that any pillows or stuffed animals and things like that, that we like to make sure that our infants feel warm and cozy and secure. let's go ahead and take those items out of the crib and place them somewhere else. This is a good time for us to take a look at that environment. We don't want anything that could cause an interruption in any of our lives. So removing pillows and stuffed animals out of the cribs, that's gonna be a key thing for us too. So I have 4 children of my own. And when they were little, believe me, they were so busy. And so one of the things that I did to make sure that they were safe is when I was surveying my environment, I made sure that I had electrical outlet covers in all of the electrical outlets. But if you don't have those on hand right now, just consider rearranging your furniture so we can cover some of those up so that they don't have as much access to those outlets. And if there's anything to be found on the floor, they will find those items, and sometimes, you know, they do what they do, and sometimes they'll try to push those in there. So let's eliminate that as much as we can. As you're childproofing your home, don't forget about your bathroom. Make sure that the toilet seat is closed at all times, that we don't have standing water in bathtubs. And once you finish with the mop bucket, go ahead and throw that water out. We want to make sure that there's no standing water available for the children to get into at all. Let's not have any burning candles or any of those beautiful wax warmers. Those are real fancy. They make your house smell real good. But if a child pulls that over, we could have something on our hands that we don't want to have on our hands. So let's put those aside until everything gets back to normal. Okay, just a couple of other items that I want you to pay attention to while you're at home with your children. Space heaters, be very careful and aware of the children when it comes to space heaters. Fire extinguishers, we want to make sure that they're within your reach, but not in reach of the children. And finally, let's make sure that we keep our children away from adult items, such as adult beverages and weapons. Make sure that if you have weapons in your house for hunting or safety, please make sure that those weapons are up and locked away from children's reach. You guys, I promise we're gonna all get through this together. But I just wanted to take a minute to make sure that we're all keeping our children as safe as possible during this time. And remember, if a child is out of sight, we need to go check on them. Don't forget to wash your hands, wash your children's hands over and over and over. I'll be coming to you again soon. You guys be safe and take care.